Hello, darlings, and welcome to Tags Live, the live edition. This is episode 603. I'm your host for the night, Maurice Doggette, filling in for Steve V, alongside my boo thing, Miss Teddy Alexis. How you doing, Miss Teddy?
Hey, girl, hey!
Hey, girl, hey! And happy Hispanic Heritage Month. How are you celebrating this month?
Love it. Well, first of all, happy Hispanic, Latinx, Latino, Latina, Latine, so people don't get mad.
Lord, that's all the Latinos.
We're complicated.
Okay?
We're so complicated.
I mean, the diaspora is real as far as Latinx and Latinos are concerned, okay? All right.
Real. And we multiply fast.
I was just telling you offline how horny I am, so I completely agree with you.
This is how we're starting? Oh my goodness. Can I give a shout out, please?
Oh yeah, go right ahead.
I want to give a shout out for Hispanic Heritage Month to Wilson Cruz, who it's been a beacon in our lives and all the Latine LGBT people, because he's been one of the first ones that we had representation when it wasn't cool. So I want to give him a shout out because I really, really love him and I hope to meet him one day. And we love you, Wilson Cruz. We dedicate this one to you. Mwah, mwah.
Woo-hoo! You know, people tell me I look like him. I mean,
sure.
I've gotten it a long time, and I did actually meet him. If you call seeing him in the club, meeting him, because
sure.
I didn't even have enough balls to go up to him and say hello.
That counts. Well, he tweeted at me a couple times, so I feel like
you met him too. Girl,
our girlfriend Wilson.
Hey girl, how you doing, Miss Wilson? Oh man, that's funny. Well, shout out to Wilson Cruz. We love you. I've been getting comparisons to you since high school when My So-Called Life was out. So we love you, boo. All right. So starting off hot, we're going to be talking about Miss Janet Jackson and her comments on Kamala Harris. Music legend Janet Jackson is rightly receiving backlash for mischaracterizing Vice President Kamala Harris's race in an interview with The Guardian. When she was asked about her feelings about the possibility of a Black woman being elected U.S. president, Miss Jackson, if you're nasty, responded with, "She's not Black. That's what I heard, that she's Indian." And then, did you like that dramatic reading right there?
Yeah, I love that.
All right, continuing. And then, to make things even weirder, a man named Mo El Masri, who claimed to be her manager and is credited as a producer on her upcoming documentary, gave a statement to BuzzFeed. And Mo said Janet's remarks were based on misinformation. And she said, and he said that she apologized for any confusion caused. However, and this gets a little wilder, Janet's reps told Variety that Janet did not authorize him to make that statement. They reached when reached by Variety for comment, Mo clarified that he is no longer working for her, and he was fired by Janet and Randy after attempts to improve her image in front of public opinion and her fans. And this is something that he did not deserve. That's a lot, right?
That's a lot.
What are your thoughts on Miss Janet? And keep them respectful. No.
Yeah.
And Miss Kamala.
So I know better than have an opinion about people's identity and ethnicities and et cetera, et cetera. So people can identify however they want. We're living in a culture that will be more multicultural as we move along. So, people will have to make, some choices about how they identify themselves, and it's never our business to really judge them. Having done deal with the press, and I know that they mischaracterize things, how you say them, because there's always a way to cut things. It happened to me, and I'm like not even famous, where like you give an interview, it's like an hour thing, and then it comes out and I'm like, wow, like this doesn't sound like anything like me. It is, all the things are literal as I said them, but they're just putting it in the context that they want. So I want to give Miss Jackson a little bit of grace, and I hope that she's not out of control and being nasty.
Love it.
I tried.
Because that's the way love goes. And, and I like
Exactly.
to see her again. No, I hear what you're saying. I agree that you cannot qualify how somebody else identifies, but I feel like if there was no basis for Kamala in saying that she's black, like say she was out here Rachel Dolezal the gig, right? Then that would be one thing. But she's not. Her dad is actually black. So I can't see how Miss Jackson could get this wrong. And trust me, I love some Janet. All right. But this is all the way messed up, in my opinion. She made a mistake, yes. But then she was given the chance to actually make it right and backtrack a little bit. And she just completely obliterated any road to perdition because it doesn't make any sense to me. Like you said, I thought we were long past questioning somebody's identity and races, and especially Janet Jackson, who I know, I can tell, I've had this experience in the Black community as well, where people and within that community will want to disqualify any bearing that you have on that race. Say people would want to tell me personally that I am not Black enough. And it's just not the case because Black people are not a monolith. So Janet Jackson, I have heard rumblings of people saying that she's not Black enough, that she is this or that, because it doesn't stop at skin color. I might be light skinned, but the way people act, that can lead to questioning if you're Black enough. And I don't think that's okay on any level. So Janet should learn from this. And of course, I forgive her. Because my bar for celebrities, I do, because my bar for celebrities is very low at this point. She's not out here abusing people like Diddy or R. Kelly or Austin Wolf. So I gotta forgive her. I gotta give her the pass because she's not out here doing any of that. So she's cool with
and also
me.
it really puts into perspective the lack of consistency on the topic, right? So are we talking about race or we're talking about culture, and we're having the conversation? Because if we're talking about race, then which is a made-up construct by humans and very put into practice in the United States of America, but then because people are from India, they don't have race there, so they can't identify as Black either. So the conversation, as in, it's a non-starter because first of all, you don't get to identify people unless they tell you what they are, and second of all, there is a lack of consistency on the language. So please sit down.
Yeah, and I hear you, and I totally agree with you. And I'm going to say one more thing on the topic, and if you want to rebut, you can totally rebut. I get the whole culture thing because I have also been called not Puerto Rican enough by certain people. I'm going to not name them. Teddy, you were one of them.
That is so not true. Oh my God.
Because I don't speak Spanish fluently. I can understand a little some here and there, and if you speak to me in Spanish, I can kind of make things out. But like, I have the total culture thing for Hispanic Heritage Month. I'm making sure that I'm making Puerto Rican foods. I can cook down. Okay, I can dance salsa. I can do all the other things because culturally, I come from a Puerto Rican background. So it's kind of neither here nor there. Miss Janet should not be questioning people's ethnicities or races. And yeah, that's the end of the story. And continuing on, because I did mention abuse earlier, and so I have to I have to continue on with that little bit of that through thread right there. So DJ Pierce, known professionally as Shangela, has been accused of severe sexual assault. The star shot to prominence with her perky performance in RuPaul's Drag Race in the HBO series We're Here, and now she is embroiled in several allegations that have raised questions of consent and accountability within the entertainment world. 5 people have claimed that Shangela either physically assaulted them or attempted to engage in sexual activity with them when they were too intoxicated to consent. Just this week, a 6th accuser came forward by the name of Dakota Payne, who is a porn star, also accusing the actress of sexual misconduct. Shangela has spoken out with vehement denials over the investigation. The star called the allegations false and unsupported by any evidence or reliable witness testimony to Entertainment Weekly. And I just mentioned that Dakota Payne is a porn star just for reference so people can look him up. He's really hot and not for any other reason other than that. So, yeah. Teddy, what are your thoughts on Shangela and this whole case that she's embroiled in?
Honestly, I don't have comments specifically about the case. I think everybody deserves a due process, but I do want to comment about what it seems to be the MO of the situation, which is that all of these people were either on drugs or intoxicated.
Okay.
And I do want to comment into let's be safe, you guys. Like, if you are finding yourself in a situation that is sexual, and on top of that, you're adding the intoxication, which by definition doesn't let you consent. So if a person that is legally intoxicated, it's not legally able to consent to anything. You can buy anything, you're not, because you're intoxicated. That's why they have a case and they have standing. Do you understand? Because they can even be saying, so Dakota can even be saying, yes, I want to have sex with you, but because he's drunk, he cannot consent, and you're still raping them. That's the trick of it, you know? So you have to be careful in both parties of what the situation is. If somebody is intoxicated, then they cannot consent. So, and Dakota Payne, I see him around here all the time. He's like, he's very buff. He's a very wealthy looking man. So it's scary. The accusations are very scary. And I was looking for other sources, and it seems that the accusations are actually happening, because sometimes it could be like just gossip. So I want to give Shangela the grace to see the due process.
Oh yeah, for sure.
How about you?
No, I totally agree with you. First, I just want to say that all of these are alleged. I just kind of want to report on it because it's been out there for a while, and these have been circulating for quite some time. And I just want us to all take any of this with a grain of salt, because, like you said, everybody is they are due their process, basically. And I also am, so for me, it's like I'm caught between a rock and a hard place, because I believe all victims and anybody who is brave enough to come out and say these things. But I also want to allow Shangela to have her time and be able to to have her due process in front of a court of her peers, because that is what in this country she's due that. So my heart goes out to all of the people that were brave enough to come out, the victims, and we'll just be watching this unfolds, because like you said, it's become entirely too prevalent. And I kind of wanted to raise awareness on something like this, because I've been out there too, to where I've been intoxicated, and I feel like I haven't been taken advantage of, but I do think that it's something that could have easily happened to me in those intoxicated moments. So everybody watch out, be safe as possible, and our heart goes out to everybody. Amen. Moving right along, we're going to be talking about Eric Menendez and Ryan Murphy and the new Monster TV show. Have you watched that show yet, Teddy?
I watched the first 3 episodes. Because you asked me to. I got to say that before we get into the topic.
I asked the question, but I already knew the answer.
She's like, have you watched this? No? So we're talking about it, so you better watch it. I'm like, okay, great.
All right. So Ryan Murphy is defending his latest Netflix series, Monsters, the Lyle and Eric Menendez story, which has stirred up controversy since its streaming debut on September 19th. The show covers the 1989 murders of Jose and Kitty Menendez by their sons Lyle and Eric, and the subsequent trials that ended in their conviction in 1996. The real Eric Menendez has slammed the show, saying Murphy was naive and inaccurate in his portrayal of the brothers. One of the most controversial elements to emerge from Monsters are scenes where Eric and Lyle display a homoerotic and incestuous connection. The show at one point even depicts the two brothers showering together. Eric, I didn't get that far, by the way.
Me
Eric
neither.
mentioned in his Eric mentioned in his statement that Murphy shapes his horrible narrative through vile and appalling character portrayals of Lyle and me and disheartening slander. So that is Eric's his perspective on the narrative that Ryan Murphy has spun. Teddy, what are your thoughts after watching the Monsters Menendez story? And do you think that it's being sensationalized, the homoerotic aspect of this trial?
I haven't seen anything homoerotic between the brothers. I know they're affectionate with each other, which a lot of people mistake affectionate among men as homoerotic, right? Because we've been so thirsty about that content. One of the brothers does have a fling at some point that is obviously homosexual because they're in jail. However, I think Eric does have a in the third episode that you haven't watched yet.
I'll get there. Spoiler alert, everybody.
I'm sorry. I didn't say what happened.
Good at the movie, girl. Okay.
Sorry. Girl, I lost my marbles. I'm sorry. I spoiled it. Okay. I'm sorry. I haven't watched. There's 6 more episodes. Okay. I actually think that Eric has a point because the Menendez story has been drawn up. There's been so many TV movies and so many things, and there are some allegations. We just came from a sexual assault allegations. And they have the same situation. So one of the co-hosts that is not me just said he believes all victims.
Yep,
okay,
you're right.
So then where's the line? I do know that there's another documentary on Peacock that is called Menendez versus Menudo, that one of the members of Menudo from the 80s says that the Menendez dad did actually sexually assault him. So those are allegations that are there. It might trigger a new trial, and these are real, actual. I think the show is very fictionalized. I believe that why not do it with other names? Like, I don't think they need to be re-traumatized. They're serving in jail. Whatever you believe in, they're still in jail. So I don't. For a Netflix show for Ryan Murphy, who has like all the money and all the content, so it's hard for me to give it a thumbs up when I know that is a little bit trauma porny, which is the reason why I haven't seen Dahmer yet.
And see, that's what I was going to mention is that the reason that they're doing this, from my perspective, is that Ryan Murphy has this anthology that he's doing for Netflix based on the true crime era of the 80s and 90s and things of that nature. So I think that is why this is coming up. And you're right. I feel like this is entirely sensationalized. And I think that as far as them being re-traumatized because of this, that's completely unfortunate. But I do understand that this is why Ryan Murphy is doing this. Maybe he should have waited. Maybe he should have talked to them about telling their story and how they want to do it. But I just think that this is something that may have happened. Ryan Murphy, I watched an interview with him from Entertainment Weekly, and he was saying that this is something that one of the witnesses that was at the trial, or maybe it was a writer or something like that. I'm sorry, I forget in context. That he mentioned was a possibility that they had this romantic relationship. And he said he wanted to tell the story from all perspectives. But from my point of view, that only leads to there being more of a chance that something incorrect could creep in there because you're telling it from so many different people's perspectives. I feel like this, he also mentions in this interview that this is a story about 4 people and 2 of those people are dead. So you're going to only get half of the story. And I completely understand and believe that. So he had to fill in some gaps. He had to actually exaggerate, I feel like. So I want everybody out there to be...
Honey, he had to fill all the gaps because the other 2 are not involved. So it's all...
But also, their story is from their perspective. So I think that the other half of the story will never be understood. And that
Absolutely.
is, oh yeah. So I think that him filling in these gaps, he's probably done a lot of conjecture, and it's kind of far away from the actual truth. I think there are things related that are actually true in there, but I did a lot of Googling during the show. So I want to know if this is true, if this actually happens. So I think that everybody should take it with a grain of salt and just realize that anything with Chloe Sevigny in it is going to be gay as hell anyway. So because she makes the whole show gay. She didn't have to do any sex in the bathroom or anything like that. She's the gayest thing in that show. So she called me the F word.
Oh, I gotta say that the what we're getting into, which is the jail stuff, I think it's compelling as a storytelling, but I'm not gonna take it as somebody that has really like those documentaries, and they're really selling it as a docuseries. That's how it's like categorized. I think that's inaccurate. That's the only note that I have for the content. And do we really have to do all these stories all over and again when there's literally missing people that most of them happen to be BIPOC that we haven't found, and we're putting all these resources into the storytelling of something that we already litigate many times. I think I'm done saying anything else.
Okay. All right. Well, we can leave it at that. No, actually, I'm going to say one more thing.
Sure.
I think that the reason that this is being revisited is because this is one of the trials that grip the nation. I feel like the Menendez, I keep calling them Melendez, the Menendez brothers.
Menendez, yeah.
Baby, I know how to say it. Okay, don't play with me.
Oh! Well, you said you didn't speak Spanish, so I'm just helping. This bitch.
Cálmate, okay?
You cálmate.
You take calma.
Oh my God.
No, yeah, I think that I forgot my point. Let's move right along. So, moving right along.
Well, hold on. Before we move on, the show starts with this show has a little bit of bad karma built into it, because I don't know if you remember the first scene of the show. You remember what song is playing?
Oh yeah, come on now! It's Milli Vanilli.
Milli Vanilli.
I live for the soundtrack. Let's just say that. Let's put that out.
The soundtrack is so good, y'all.
It's so good. Every other song, I'm like, ooh,
yeah, ooh, this was a jam in the 90s. I know. They have that's Netflix money to get all those licensing.
They did that.
Yeah, but if you start with Milli Vanilli, we already know that.
Everything is fake.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all that's alleged. Everything we say on the show is alleged. So let's just put that out there. Back to allegedly. Allegedly, a right-wing anti-LGBTQ plus educator is an actual adult film star. Corey DeAngelis, a conservative education reform advocate who has espoused anti-LGBTQ plus sentiments, has been exposed for his past involvement in gay adult films. The revelation has triggered widespread accusations of hypocrisy online. Given DeAngelis' long-term public standing against LGBTQ plus rights and inclusion, DeAngelis performed in gay adult films under the pseudonym Seth Rose, including a scene in which he won a group masturbation contest. I got to bookmark that one. Just kidding. I already watched it.
Says what? Rose?
Seth Rose. I can send you the video. DeAngelis is a senior fellow at the American Federation for Children and a frequent Fox News contributor, and is known for criticizing public education for allegedly indoctrinating children with woke ideologies, including support for LGBTQ plus rights. As of today, the organization has scrubbed him from all of their entire website. Teddy, what do you think about this story? And
I'm doing a little bit of research as we go.
Oh, okay. All right. You want me to give you a second? I can turn your camera off if you need me to.
I don't.
You need a little alone time, darling.
So the funny thing is, I kept looking for his videos when this came out because I'm a well-researched host. You know this.
Yep,
It's just
I
for the
do.
sake of research.
Exactly.
But
Me
this is
too.
the oldest story in the book, baby. It's always the more anti-gay people that you're like, girl, what's wrong with you?
Really, girl.
You need some dick, really? Because they come every time they really when they come at us that hard, no pun intended. You know, it's always the oldest story in the book. So we have to examine what is always the purpose on it. And he looks good in this video. So I just gotta say. Why, baby?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. I'm not even gonna lie. I watched the videos and you know what? I was enthused. I was
Mhm.
entertained. I thought that I would look at more things from this man who is so intent on disparaging the name of our community. But I do
Right.
think that he was looking for a check. Honestly, he doesn't touch anybody from what I have seen, and he may have been on falling on hard times. And this looks to me this
Oh,
whole
you think it's pay per
anti-LGBT.
pay?
Oh yeah, 100%. And I
Oh.
do think that the whole anti-LGBTQ plus rhetoric that he's been espousing is also a part of his hustle because
Mm.
he is just looking for a check. He's one of those people that I feel will do anything for money, and it's really unfortunate. But that's just my personal opinion. It's
Yeah.
all alleged. I don't know this man, but people have compared the gentleman to
Mm.
for then and now, and they've also done voice recognition, and it's pointing to that it's actually him. And he's been silent on social media for a couple months, quite a while.
Mm.
So I do think it's him. I do think that he has some explaining to do to all of his associates because we don't care. We got the porn. We're doing okay over here in the gay
We're
community.
okay.
So.
This is the thing, is that what about um like us causes that much hate, right? So we have to examine that and why there's people that's their currency and why are people making a living out of hate. So, you know, that those are thoughts that I have. That is how are people, remunerated for that kind of rhetoric. So
Yeah, I think that hate fuels a lot. There's two things that people are motivated by: hate,
mhm.
which is run by jealousy, in my personal opinion, and and then love and sex. So those two are kind of hand in hand: sex and love, and then hate and jealousy. That they're really motivating. That look at people's entire bases and who supports them. All of that is run by hate. So I think
Mm.
that it's one way to galvanize people and really get them on your side. So I think that by him doing this, he went with the sex and he went with the love, and now he's moving on to the hate. So
That sucks, pun intended.
it does suck, but I'm giving you a thumbs up.
Apparently, evidently, actually. All right, keep it
All
moving.
right. Yes, let's keep it moving, boo. All right, so Lil Nas X has started a hilarious one-sided fake beef with Omar Apollo over Jack Harlow, of all people.
Mm-hmm.
On the 19th of September, Harlow shared a carousel of photos on his Instagram account alongside a flirtatious set of lyrics. You're not the first girl to tell me I should wear sunscreen every day. You're not the first girl to tell me who I am because of my birthday. That is a nice little rap. I'm about to steal it. That's what the caption said. And the post garnered the attention of God Said No singer Omar Apollo, who left a flirty comment switching up Jack Harlow's original lyrics.
I think it's a thirsty comment, not 30.
Oh, you think so? I said flirty. I said
Oh, said
flirty.
flirty. I thought you said 30.
Are you even listening, Teddy? Okay.
I barely speak English, remember?
Oh no, I didn't say that. He
No, I
said
know.
that.
I
I
know.
would
I
say
know.
that in Hispanic Heritage Month. So Omar Apollo said, "Let me be the first boy to tell you," type shit, and which was flirty, and it did not go unnoticed by Jack Harlow's other gay husband, Lil Nas X. All right, so Lil Nas X came back at Omar Apollo saying, "Omar Apollo, count your fucking days." The Old Town Road singer playfully exclaimed this quote tweet in the exchange. For context, Lil Nas X and Harlow, who identifies as straight, formed a close friendship after collaborating on their hit 2021 track "Industry Baby." Teddy, what do you think of having straight husbands, and what happens if another gay comes at your straight husband?
Well, like Mariah say, I don't know her, but my opinions are...
You don't know who?
I don't know any of these people unless for Lil Nas X. And I know Harlow because he collaborated with him, but I don't know who the other guy is.
Omar Apollo? He's Latino. We can't do this in Hispanic heritage.
We don't know. I don't have to know all the Latinos, baby.
We all know each other. Calm down.
You're like, you didn't get the roster, the update.
You didn't get the newsletter for this month? Oh my gosh.
Ricky Martin forgot to send it to me. Look, I love this.
I mean, if anybody's the president, it's
I actually love this. It's I think it's hilarious. I think the jokes are on point. And, you know, this is what healthy relationship among a man looks like, right? We all have this bromance with each other. And all the rest of relationship that I have with straight men, they get jealous when I date. And it's just normal. And it's cute. And I think it's healing too, you know? Yeah. We've been taught so many times to not be affectionate with each other among men. Taking the sex and all the romantic stuff out of it. That, you know... that is sad, and we grow up without knowing how to express our emotions. That's why we, like, you know, get on these like rants sometimes, because we have all these built up emotions that we don't express. So I think that it's cute that they're loving in each other and just, you know, teasing each other. And I love a little bit of humor here and there as evidence of our relationship. So I think
exactly
I think it's really sweet and really cute. So more of it, please.
I totally agree. I think that this is Jack Harlow is totally in on the joke. I feel like he has worn things in homage to Lil Nas X on the red carpet, and Lil Nas X has done the same in return. I feel like he is somebody who is secure in his sexuality, so he doesn't mind these little jokes between his gay boyfriends, his gay husbands, whomever. I think this is something that, you know, will help the straight community understand that you're not necessarily gay because you're friends with another gay person. It's something that I feel like needs to be known. And I'm so glad that they're making an example of it in a positive way and making sure that everybody can see that they have love for one another. And it doesn't necessarily have to be rooted in romantic love. They can be friends, and they can be, you know, funny with each other and quote unquote flirty with each other, and it doesn't have to mean anything. So I really am here for
I think
this.
Jack Harlow got the message of like that a straight man and a gay man is the same relationship as a gay man and a straight woman, that we flirt with each other, but nothing ever is gonna happen, so we're just playing along. So it's part of the love. And you know, and even the other Omar Apollo was saying that he was hitting on him at the Met Gala, and like I would think that was cute. That's cute. Super. I think that's sweet. Yeah.
Have you ever had a straight husband?
Yes. Yes. When I was in grad school,
that's all you're gonna give me is
when I was in grad school, there was this guy Luke Fradell, who I love. He was an MFA student. I was getting my PhD, and we used to run into each other at the gym because we were both lifters. And he was old. Yeah, she was Natch in her 20s. So then everybody was like, every time I would go on a date, he's like, "Who you going with? Who is this guy?" And it was like really
jealousy.
Cute.
I love it.
Yeah, it was really cute. But obviously, we never had any romantic. I never had any romantic for him, nor he had them for me, because it made no sense. So
yeah, I had a gay husband at work, and you know,
a gay husband.
I'm sorry, a straight husband. Why do I keep saying that? I had a straight husband at work. We got along famously. We loved all the same types of music, and then he would go home to his girlfriend. But we would sing together while we were at work, and it was fabulous. And yeah, he's got a baby now. I was at the wedding.
Oh, cute. What's his name? Ricky Martin?
I was crying. No, Ricky Martin is gay. My husband was straight. I had a straight husband.
Okay.
Right. Moving right along. So I was perusing the internet and I
Not
came across this
perusing.
perusing, darling.
Mhm.
I came across this post by Troye Sivan, and it's a text message from him to Charlie XCX. And it came out a little while ago, but it was something that kind of caught my eye and started to make me think. The text goes, Troy says, faggot, send, then queen, and then send. So it's two separate messages. And then Charlie responds, yeah, I can't say it. And then Troy shoots back, LOL, I've told you you can't. So it just got me thinking about allies and allyship and how when to extend certain privileges to said allies. Hold on now. Let me get it out. Basically, who gets to say the F word, and if anyone. And because we just talked about Troy last week on the show and how he bristled at the fact that people were accusing him of going on tour basically to hook up on Grindr, which reduced him to his sexuality. But now he wants a straight woman to call him the F word. So I just wanted to get your thoughts on this situation and how you approach people saying the F word in real
Kodi.
life concerning
Kodi.
you.
Kodi.
Yes,
Look,
baby.
this is a problem, and I'm gonna generalize. But the thing is, just because somebody from a oh my god,
Minority.
no, sure, I was gonna
No?
say minoritized community,
Okay.
but apparently it's too late for me. So
Minoritized.
a minoritized community gives you a pass. That doesn't mean that you actually have it. So
Yeah.
proceed with caution, right? Because just because that person let you use the F word doesn't mean that all the LGBT people are gonna let you do it. All right. So, and that's the problem because we have sometimes these problematic people within our communities that are out there in the streets doing that, and that's how they make money because we see them on the TV, right? Oh, let's look for the one Latino that hates immigration and Latinx people, and let's give them a mic. And you see, they're also think the same way. So we have to be careful because when you give them a pass, who made you the monopoly bank person? Why are you giving passes like you're the monopoly guy? Have several seats, bitch. Stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah.
Because slurs are slurs for a reason. So somebody that actually thinks that twink is a slur, that so clearly somebody hasn't done their homework, is giving a pass to somebody to say the F word. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. You need to sit down.
No, ma'am. Yeah.
All right. Was that too
Yeah.
long?
No. I loved it. I loved every.
Okay.
I want you to ask. I want to ask you more questions, but I'm going to
Sure.
give my opinion first.
Okay.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think that I have long said that if you haven't been hurt by a slur, then you shouldn't be able to say the slur, let alone give a pass to somebody else to say the slur. And I feel like a lot of people out here using words, the F word included, the N word, they haven't been called the N word in their entire life in a way that would make them feel less than a human being. They haven't been called the F word in a way that made them afraid for their life. So how are they out here reclaiming something? And again, I have always said to myself, I'm not going to, force another person into their own acceptance or how they process slurs, how they process anything regarding race or sexuality. So it's not out here for me to police that. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm saying for me personally, I don't say it around me. I hope Charlie knows that she can't say it around other people other than Troye Sivan, because not everybody has given her this pass. And for the people that are invited to the cookout, this is along the same lines. You can go to that person's cookout. Don't come over here because I don't know you. That's basically along the lines that I am saying, because I think a lot of that comes with familiarity with that certain person. And I I don't think that if you say it to another person, you might not get the response that you're expecting. And I know that Charlie XCX is a person that is very known out here in the world, especially in gay circles. So I feel like a lot of people will give her that privilege. But if she came to me and said it, I would have to be like, Miss Thing, I'm going to need for you not to say that word. I've actually said that to people regarding all of the words that apply to me. I said, I don't appreciate being called that specific word, or having it like used in my presence is one thing, but don't call me the F word or the N word or the S word. Yeah, don't call me any of those, because
the
that's
S word. They'll tell me offline.
I'll text it to you right now.
Okay. Sometimes people say like, "Oh, the C word," and I'm like, "Wait, what? Which one?"
Come on now. Yeah. Did you get the text message?
Oh, sure.
I'm gonna cut this out.
This is really live. Oh, that's old school.
That's old. It's old.
Somebody's
school, right?
Back in 1967 when they were born.
Don't be talking about my mama like that, okay? All right.
You're going West Side Stories on me. Okay, Miss Rita.
Not the Sharks and the Jets, girl. We're keeping this in now.
Mother Moreno, relax.
I love Rita Moreno. Okay, all right. Her. So yeah, what are your final thoughts on this and how you handle it when people actually say this word in your presence?
I've never had somebody that is not from the community say it. And you know, sometimes, you know, the people that you surround yourselves are people that are usually aligned with how you think. So I haven't had that. I do when I am in school. So we read a lot of scripts, right? Because I teach drama, and sometimes the words are in there. So I always tell the kids,
"Oh yeah,
you don't have to actually say the words." And I always tell them to keep with the rhythm of the reading. Just say F word or N word or whatever it is, you know, because we're reading things from like hundreds and hundreds of years. So most of the times we're out of cultural context. So that's it. I don't use it ever, and it will be better for you.
Yeah, I hear you. I try not to use them in my everyday language anyway, but sometimes I slip up. I'm not perfect, y'all, okay? All right, moving right along. So there is a new male-only man camp, and the advertisement for the camp is heating up queer social media. The opening scene of the video features a shirtless hunk biting into a juicy piece of meat right off the bone. Then the camera shifts to 5 shirtless dudes who are flexing outside. The camp in question is Bali Time Chamber. Even though queerty, they are shady as fuck, they called it Ball Time Chamber. And I think that's an even better name. It's a male-only retreat located on a secluded mountaintop in Bali. And the resort's website says its grounds are only accessible via a small footpath. The Manosphere, whose members consume an animal-based diet and raw milk, is the latest far-right community to fashion in homoerotic tropes. But it may also provide the narrative of my next homoerotic dream. Teddy, are you featuring this man camp? And have you seen the socials? What do you think? Are you featuring this man camp? What do you think? Tell me.
You know, they say that is what is a Ball Time Chambers. I feel like we belong there, baby.
It's Bali. It's queerty got it wrong.
I know. But if it's Ball Time Chambers, we definitely have to apply.
We should open up Ball Time Chambers. Oh my God. Let's do it.
This gives like luxury bathhouse, which is something that I've been I had totally been trying to manifest. Right, because the bathhouse here in LA are a little bit seedy. So I'm just looking for like a good gym, a good, like, you know, open area where I can see the mountains, and then I can get pounded later. You know, it's a relaxing time. It's a relaxing time. Is that what we're
opening up instead? Are we opening Ball Time Chamber and it's really a luxury bathhouse? Is that what we're doing?
I think think we should do that because this place, like everything about it, talking about homoerotic.
Okay.
Like what the
That seems to
guys
be
are
our theme
never.
for today.
Yeah, these guys are never dressed. Did you see the trailer?
Oh, I saw the trailer.
They're always
Eating
shirtless.
meat.
And then
Yeah.
there's this guy like lifting, and like the spotter is like awfully close. You know what I mean? Even though spotting is like a little bit like it's not sexual. Let's say that.
Okay.
You know, have you spot somebody doing squat? Seriously.
Oh yeah. Even on the bench press, when you have your nuts in their face, it's everything. I have a fantasy about spotting somebody at the gym and dipping, like teabagging them while they're on the bench press. It's fantastic. It's everything.
What?
Continue. What were you saying?
We can make that happen real soon. Yeah, I mean, we totally can. Don't limit yourself, darling. Don't limit yourself.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Don't have limiting thoughts.
Yeah. So, you know, it seems very homoerotic, but as I said, men are really prevented sociality to get together and, you know, help each other. So this seems like a good bonding experience that could lead some romantic situations. So I'm up for it. Well, how about you?
You know they are hooking up at this place. You
Absolutely.
know. There's no women there.
They're going to go to a valley, eat meat, be shirtless for months at a time, and not have any sexual interaction. And there's no women there. Yeah. Oh, yeah,
It's
baby.
going down. There's a
Yeah.
designated party bottom in this place, and it's happening. I think this is.
I volunteer as a tribute.
Well, you know, I think it's right-wing based. So I feel, you know, they crashed Grindr at the Republican National Convention this year. So I feel like this is even more of them trying to be secretive and coming out of the closet, but not really coming out of the closet.
Yeah.
It's just where they can congregate and do all the nasty, dirty, homosexual things that they really want to do in their everyday life, but they can't because they have wives back at home.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You know what conservatives in Puerto Rico say, right?
What? Tell me.
Once a year doesn't make you gay.
Well, then I'm not gay because once
a day doesn't make you gay.
I'm straight.
It rhymes better.
Once a day doesn't make you gay. I love it. Yeah. So I would have to do it twice a day, and that's not happening anytime soon. Anyway.
Oh, she's thirsty.
Oh, man. I mean, send me some nudies, everybody. Just okay. Do the Lord's work. All right. So now we have. Thank you, darling. Now we have some Reddits that we're going to do. So the first one is which one do you want to do first, Teddy?
We should do FOMO.
Okay, that's the one I was going to do. So, this one comes from a Redditor, and it's about sexual FOMO while in a happy relationship. The Redditor goes, I am happily in a relationship and we've been dating for 2 years. Since dating, I can't shake the feeling like I didn't get to experiment enough sexually before I found the one. I feel like I got lucky and found my life partner really early and didn't get to find out new things sexually for myself, if that makes sense. We're in a loving relationship and sexually are completely fine, but I feel like I still want to explore with other people. Am I terrible for wanting to try new things with other people? I still love him and always will. This has been something stuck in the back of my mind for a while. Teddy, have you ever experienced sexual FOMO? And what is your advice to this lovely young man?
I absolutely have. Girl, same. You know, I think that's something that you can open up about with your partner. You know, I think I always go back to a relationship. Relationships to me are really important. So I feel like if that's something that you're feeling, you can share it. However, you have to understand that part of it can be that the person will decline, right? So your partner can absolutely say no, right? Because usually the agreement, it's the when you get together with someone, is that there's monogamy, which sounds like that's your agreement, right? So
gonna get a couple.
Huh?
Nothing. It was shady.
Yeah,
Sorry.
getting a throuple. Yeah, sure. Which they're in position to do as well, because if they've been monogamous for 2 years, nothing has been happening, then they're in position to kind of reset rules. And I believe that at least every month or every other month, you should reset and like kind of like do a check-in with your partner.
Mhm.
That's something that I practice. So yeah, maybe it is time for y'all to do a check-in and see, hey, by the way, I have these needs that are not being met. Or even not even frame it like that, just say, hey, I'm wanting to experiment some other things, will you be down? And maybe that person will be, however, you have to be prepared to also the answer to be no. Or maybe he's just desperate to do the same thing and you guys can have some fun together. So what do you think?
Yeah. So to provide a little bit more context that was not in the original posting, they're in, sorry, and I probably should have mentioned this to you. They are in college.
So they're very young.
People. They're college age people, and they are now long distance. So that is providing hurdles. Yeah, that's providing hurdles to their relationship and them and this person actually exploring. So does that change your advice a little bit? I'm going to go with you first. Does that change your advice a little bit?
No, I feel like they just reset their relationship, right? Because they're in different locations. So that's a reset. And say, the people that fail at long distance is that they pretend that they're living together, right? They want everything to be the same. No, we're in different locations. What are the new rules, right? Do we have to check in every day? Then if you're in like bi-coastal, that gets really difficult, right? Because the time changes. If you're like in another country, that even gets more like, so those are things that should be talked. And I always try to be logical with what the thing is, right? So if my boyfriend is working until 6 and then I start working at 8, then does it make sense for us to get together for like the 30 minutes that we're gonna have together? No, maybe we should move it to Saturday when we're both off. So people just need to have these real conversations, and I feel like people just want to jam it like, no, we're together, we just should check in with each other all the time and all these things. So that's what it sounds so sexual, because some of these things are not realistic.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think that in this instance specifically, I feel like he should have a conversation with his partner, his boyfriend, whatever they call each other, and they should talk about how they can overcome these challenges. I would also recommend that they look into opening up the relationship, just because they are dating long distance and he feels unfulfilled sexually, quote unquote. I don't know.
Everybody needs that oil change.
Correct terminology. Oh yeah, for sure. And yeah,
there's that tune up, baby. There's that tune up.
So I think that is something that should be seriously conversed upon, because I think that is only going to help them, honestly, because he has unresolved issues as far as his sexual life and things that he's experienced. And if you're not there to experience those things with him, then it can only lead to ruin if he is feeling those urges and he is not able to act upon it.
Right.
That's what I want to say. Yeah.
Amen.
All right. So moving right along is thirst trap time. Yeah. So Teddy has put the link into the chat right here. And this is something that is brought up by Straight Up Gay Porn. And they list these. How many is it today? 11 sexiest thirst trap pictures of the week. And it is our job as an audio podcast to descriptively describe who we picked and why we picked them. So Teddy, I will have to ask you, I'm gonna go to you first because I haven't decided on one because they just released this. Who do you pick for this week? And descriptively describe it and tell us why.
I picked Swirly, who is a BDB. You know what that is?
Oh yeah, oh yes. But tell the people, okay?
BDB, a big dick bottom.
Not BBD, BDB, right? You know who
That
Big
sounds
BBD is?
exactly the same to me. What is the difference? Sorry.
Oh man. So tell us why. Describe the picture, babe.
So this is a slender, very tall black guy with like very luscious lips and a dick that will poke not one of your eyes, both of your eyes out. It's that's big. But I went to
It
his
is
Twitter,
huge.
and as a shocking twist, here's a bottom. So he is very,
That's
very,
unfortunate
very
for you, right?
unfortunate for me, but you know, I can top. I can top,
Oh,
especially if I can handle, you know, I can hold on to that third leg that he has because it is gorgeous. And that's my pick for today. He's very, very cute, even though this list is a little pale, but
oh.
it,
Well, not Nick Frost. That's my
no.
pick for the week. He is a thick, juicy muscle man, and he's on a bed. He's got the thickest, fattest cock, and he's leaning back. He's making a power muscle stance.
Mhm.
You know, he's got his left arm in the bicep curl right there, and he's smiling
Mhm.
for the camera. He's got blonde hair. And he's just super thick and sexy. He's a top. So we have actually switched positions today.
We did.
And I've seen some porn with him, and he knows how to put it down. I've taken top lessons from him, I think,
I just
because
literally bookmarked his Twitter.
it's hot, right?
Yeah, he's very good looking. Good choice.
Oh, see, thank you, Actually, the person you
Any of the
named
boys
for
listening have any choices for the straight up gay porn thirst trap?
I, I haven't seen any determinations. I think we're a day early, so we are,
Oh,
you
but
know,
there's people
unfortunately.
watching. We'll see.
I know. I said hello to them. But
Okay.
yeah, I think that's it for today. That is our
Okay.
show for this evening. You can follow our special lovely guest host, Teddy Alexis, at Teddy Alexis on Instagram. You can follow me at Mr. Maurice on Instagram as well for some spicy content and some upcoming music content too. So be on the lookout for that. And you can follow the amazing Steve V at _Steve V on Instagram, and follow the show on Twitter at podcast. You can also get some excerpts from Stevie's spicy, juicy OnlyFans account. Stream, talk about it, or it's on every streaming platform right now. It's my song. It's based on this show. And thank you so much, Teddy, for joining us this evening. It's so wonderful to have you. Do you have anything to promote?
Thank you for having me. I have some trailers up in my YouTube channel, so I would love if you go there. Same handle at Teddy Alexis. If you give it a view, that would be amazing.
Beautiful, beautiful. And in the meantime, Teddy, continue having hot
gay
sex. Yes.
Bye, guys.
Bye.